This is why you're not making progress at the gym. Well, there's many reasons, but we're going to talk about one particular one today. And this is mostly for the more hardcore gym goers, the guys who are actually going consistently. And stick around at the end because we're going to find out if you're smarter than the average voter. Hello, I'm Dan Adams, and I'm here to make you strong and hopefully to make you smart. Yeah, I want to tell you why. Give you a little gym tip that I thought of this week when I was working with one of my clients. And I'm going to ask you a really simple question at the end to see if you're smarter than the average voter, if you even should be voting. Because here's the thing, at American Fitnocrat, I don't just want you to be big and strong and capable and, a force within society. Brain beats brawn. It just does. Brain always beats brawn. The only reason we as humans are the dominant species, the apex predator, well, yeah, think about it. What advantage do we have over animals? What advantage, if any, besides being smarter, can you think of any? We can't run very fast. We have no claws. We have no fur. We freeze to death at night. We can't burrow into the ground and stay warm that way. I can't take down a giant buffalo with my teeth. Literally, the only advantage that we have over animals is our brains. What about opposable thumbs? Raccoons have opposable thumbs too. They're little creepy hands. I think it's one of the reasons I think raccoon videos are really funny because they're like, they got their weird little. Anyways, that's a different tangent. Anyway, yeah, I don't want you to be a bunch of idiots. So I'm going to help you not be a bunch of idiots. But first, the gym. I was working with a client this week. Let's just get right into it. I was working with a client this week. Let's call him Lars. And I am Lars. I warn you, at night when I sleep, I make a very disturbing noise. Do not worry, I am fine. Guess that movie. When I was working with Lars this week, he had been in his job. He's some kind of a mechanic at a cheese factory. Hope I'm not giving away too much information so you go and track down Lars. I don't think I'm supposed to be sharing personal stuff. I changed his name. I think that's good enough. Anyways, Lars works at a cheese factory. He's a mechanic there. And they had him doing some pretty heavy labor type stuff, some labor intensive stuff. Yeah, they had him crawling underneath giant pieces of machinery and welding, and I mean, he was just exhausted. So he comes to his workout, and he's clearly tired. Like, I can see how tired he is. I can see he's dragging. He's definitely not enjoying the workout. On the first exercise, I just kind of blow over it. I don't worry too much about it. The second exercise, I start asking him more about, there's basic things that a trainer should always be asking you. By the way, that's one of the ways you know if you're working with a good trainer is if they're repeatedly checking in all these different areas. They're asking you, how's your sleep? How's your body feeling? How are you feeling mentally, emotionally? Are you feeling good? Because these are all clues as to whether or not you're doing the right thing in the gym. You should feel good after. There he is right now. He just texted me. I shoot all these from my phone, so occasionally texts come up and then I lose my train of thought and the whole video is ruined. Just kidding. They're not that well planned out. So anyways, Lars, I asked Lars, these questions that every trainer should be asking their clients. And he starts telling me about work and, oh my gosh, how hard they're working him. And he's just so tired. I ask him, how's his sleep? And he says his sleep has been sucky. He's not sleeping, at least not sleeping very well. And I'm not sure why. Sleep is a tricky thing. We don't dive too deep into that. But here's the point. He was in no condition to put in a big, tough workout. No condition. So we stopped doing the workout that we were doing. Now, we didn't stop working out, period. And that's going to come up later. I'm going to tell you why. But we still went through the workout. Still went through the same exercises. I just greatly reduced the weight, like to 50% of what his working weight is. You've got your working weight. That's presumably close to your limit. If you want to see results and see meaningful muscle growth, you generally need to be working pretty close to failure, within 2 to 3 reps of failure, something like that. And that's what I've been doing with Lars. That's what I've been doing, Lars. And sorry, I should have picked a different name every time I say Lars. I just think it's funny. But yeah, every time I'm working with when I'm working with Lars, I try and push him to go close to failure. Today we changed that up. We are not pushing close to failure today because he is in no condition to do that. Now, what we did do is go through the workouts, 50% of his working weight. The reason I did that instead of just stopping the workout completely is there is still value in going through the motions. Even if you're terribly tired and you don't feel like you can push yourself, you can still do the exercises, and there's value in that. There's value in pulling back from the weight. Don't go as hard as you can. Really focus on form, technique. Focus on the squeeze, the muscle. Make sure you're feeling it in the right muscle. This is an opportunity to really hone in on your weightlifting skills. When you're not going as heavy as you can, you're just going through the motions. So that's what we did. And we worked a couple of things out, and it was a good session. Now, that's especially important for people who are just trying to get into the habit of going to the gym regularly. Let's say you're someone who's trying to get to the gym and you haven't really turned it into a life habit yet. You're working on it, but you've only been doing it for maybe a month and it's still not locked in. It's not ingrained. You haven't really done the Atomic Habits thing where that's all you don't miss the gym. No. You could still miss the gym and you could easily fall back out of it. And you don't want to do that. You're like, no. I'm finally getting to the gym regularly. I don't want to stop just because work was especially hard today or my sleep sucked. And oh my gosh, now I'm going to fall out of the rhythm. That's a legitimate fear because that's what happens to almost everybody. That's why starting habits is so hard. Still go to the gym, just pull back on the weight. Very simple. When you're really tired and you're really exhausted, it's kind of this part of this hustle culture that we live in. And in some ways, I don't mind the hustle culture. That's one of the reasons that America rocks, is because we do work so damn hard. And all these silly Europeans pointing and laughing at us. Oh, we get 8 months of paid vacation or whatever they get. I don't know. Freaking Europeans. the French. We get 3 hours of lunch. Because in Europe, we actually care about people, not just about production. We care about the people, not about just the production like you silly Americans. Well, that's why America is way more awesome than you, because, yeah, we work really hard. And there's this whole thing, there's this whole American spirit that we have where, if you're willing to put in the work, you're going to make it. You're going to do well for yourself. Might not be like one of the richest people, but you can still do very well. And there's joy. There's lots of joy to be found in hard work and pushing yourself. That being said, here's what I'm leading up to. You gotta rest as well, especially when it comes to workouts at the gym. Don't do the whole no days off thing. That's stupid. No days off? Okay, how about no hours off? If you can just go every single day without resting, and you think your body's eventually going to adapt to it, sometimes it does. Oftentimes, though, you're just perpetually tired, and you're missing the whole point of the gym, which is to make your life better outside the gym. The gym was made for man, not man for the gym. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling worn out, if you just got this general fatigue all the time, it might be a good idea to don't stay away from the gym. Don't miss your gym workout. But I haven't said it. I haven't said the word yet. Here's what this is called. It's called a deload. You take a deload day. That's what I did with Lars. We deloaded. Still lift your weights. Still go through the motions. Just greatly reduce them. That's going to be of infinite value to you, rather than just trying to push because your body goes into survival mode when it's exhausted. It makes it a lot harder to build muscle. It makes it a lot harder to lose fat. It makes it harder to do anything productive because you're so tired, and we don't want that. Be prudent. Like the good book says, don't run faster than you can walk, or something like that. Paraphrasing. I'm not a scriptorian. I am but a humble carpenter from Utah. So, that's what you got to do. Think of it this way. You know if you're making progress in the gym, not by how often you're getting a crazy workout in or how sore it's making you. You judge your workouts by, one, are you getting stronger? So week after week, or even month by month, depending on how advanced you are, it takes a lot longer to get stronger. But are you getting a little bit stronger each week? Okay, that's good. That's a great sign. And are you feeling good outside the gym? Do you have energy? Do you feel enthusiastic about not just going to the gym and working out, but about life in general? Pay close attention to those things. Always ask yourself those two questions if you're wondering whether or not you're making progress. Am I getting stronger? And am I feeling good? Now, that was the brawn part. I guess there's some brains in there too. You gotta be smart about your workouts. It's a little more, weightlifting. When I got into training, I quickly found out that proper weight training and proper programming, it's a lot more than just picking things up and putting them down. There is some strategy that goes with it. But we're gonna get into the real brainy stuff. Not too brainy. These are just going to be the idea is that I'm just going to give you a little tidbit, a little U.S. Constitution, U.S. history tidbit, something that you can easily grasp onto and just make you just a little bit more informed than the average American. Because let me tell you, us Americans, for all of our hard work, we're kind of a bunch of dummies, unfortunately. But we can fix that. So here's my question to you. Are you smarter than the average voter? Answer me this. What are our three branches of government? Think for a second. What are the three branches of government? Occasionally I'll ask this to people. Actually, quite a few people know this. This is a fairly easy question, but I'll often get answers. People will say things like, this is the Senate? Yeah, Senate, that's part of one of the branches. Isn't the president he's his own branch? Yeah. Okay, we're on the right track. So people have a general idea that there's different branches of government and that they're separate from one another, and you're supposed to have checks and balances over one another. Here's the three branches of government. Legislative, that includes the Senate and the Congress. And they make laws. Executive, that's the president. The president, he is the head of the government. He appoints judges over the judicial branch, which we'll get into the judicial branch. He can make treaties with other countries. The president's job is a little bit more vague. He's the master and commander. No, the master chief. Oh crap, I'm getting my terms mixed up. See, this is why we do this, so that you don't sound like an idiot like I do right now. He is the commander-in-chief. That's what I want to see. He is the commander-in-chief over the armed forces, not the master chief. I've been playing Halo. I think that's why I was struggling with that. And I just watched Master and Commander. No, he is the commander-in-chief over the armed forces. And then the third branch of government is the judicial. So, your three branches of government: legislative, executive, judicial. And we'll talk about how they all interact with each other on later days. But just remember that. If you can answer that one question, you're smarter than many Americans. There are so many Americans, and they all get online and they say their stupid opinions, and they can't answer even most basic questions. Don't be like that. Be an informed voter. Anyways, I think that's all I got for today. I'm Dan Adams. Go forth, my fitnocrats.